Power over spice is power over all. Welcome to my spoiler review of Dune Part Two, the sequel to the 2021 hit and easily marking the definitive adaptation of the epic novel by Frank Herbert, so let's begin. The movie adapts the second half of the book and picks up roughly where the first part left off. On top of most, though not all, the cast and crew returning from Part 1, there are a host of new players I'm eager to tell you about. The first two we see are the Emperor, played by Christopher Walken, and Princess Irulan, played by Florence Pugh. The House of Harkonnen has taken Arrakis. Paul Atreides forms an alliance with Fremen in order to reclaim his rightful place as heir. The opening battle with the worms is some of the director's best work. Such a practical action still has a place in the post-digital effects age. Also, yes, I just now got this year what Sandy was alluding to for the worm sign, and she mounted the Alaskan bullworm the same way that Paul and Chani mount the sandworms. Elsewhere, the Harkonnens are planning their next move as they have taken the capital city of Arrakeen. Raban will stop at nothing to conquer the entire planet, as Paul must learn the planet's ways. This whole stretch here with Stilgar helping train, leading up to the worm mounting, is cerebral as it is thrilling. The adaptation so far, I'd say this is the closest to how I'd want the Bene Gesserit trials to be handled. The symbolism of the water is also vital, and we will come back to this. As the Reverend Mother is nearing her end, she must pass her teachings on to another. However, there is a risk in the process. If it works, they become the next vessel in the cycle. If it fails, the waters will poison and kill them. Fortunately, Lady Jessica survives and is carrying a child, much to the Fremen's shock and amazement. Though Paul doubts he is the one to liberate Arrakis, there's no time to argue. It's time for the assault on the Harkonnen Harvester. The sequence is a masterclass in practical action, with digital effects only playing a supporting role this time. I know it's early, but I can see this movie sweeping technical awards like the first one did. As Paul and Chani bond, the hour to mount the sandworms draws near more than one. With this, Paul now has support for Dakin. The Baron is displeased with the attacks on his supply caches, as with the fact that Atreides has conquered the Shai Hulud. The next engagement inside the Sandstorm is, to borrow a line from Paul, it's breathtaking. As word reaches the Emperor and the Princess, it's time for a new Harkonnen prospect. Fade Rotha, played by award-winner Austin Butler, is depicted far more faithfully in looks and personality than in the Lynch film, remorseless and psychotic. The arena scene is pure fighting artistry, and once Rotha kills his opponents in the ring, he is sent to Arrakis. I will say the reintroduction to Gurney Halleck is an entertaining battle, and the song he plays is also quite amusing too. As he reunites with Paul, they start forming a plan to fight Harkonnens. Paul then realizes it's time for his ascension. Arise, Kwisatz Haderach. Paul sends Gurney Halleck and the others to the south to defend their keep, and driven by sandworms is as awe-inspiring as ever. Just like before, the water could kill him, or could help him reach a higher plane of knowledge. Fortunately, to a close call in his mind's eye, it's the latter. Thus, we have a whole new call and response. Listen al Gabe! Back in the House of Harkonnen, Rotha demands Raban lick his boots, which is not in the book or the script, but improvised on the set by Butler. The director felt to improve the scenes, so left it in, so that makes more sense for his character than Sting and a skull thong. Paul can now see all possible futures and times at once. Some might say everything, everywhere, all at once. He takes a stand to lead his people to reclaim the planet as Lisan al Gaib in its true name, Dune. He declares himself Duke of Arrakis as he puts on his father's ring. I would say performances from both new and previous cast members are incredible. Like many of his roles, Christopher Walken's Emperor is as enigmatic as it is memorable. The time has come for the final battle between House Harkonnen and House Atreides, and overall, I think it ranks among Helm's Deep as one of the best finales on screen in my life. Not just in terms of large-scale spectacle, but how effective the choreography of the Weirding Ways is. Unlike David Lynch, Denis Villeneuve has no issue with quote-unquote kung fu on sand dunes, with the knife duels being heavily influenced by Far East wuxia films. The Baron is executed, and the first phase of battle begins. Atreides, Stilgar, and Gurney each lead a regiment against Harkonnen craft, with the sandworms running cover inside the storm. Once the enemy weapons cache is destroyed, the second phase of battle takes place in the throne room. The army storm inside as the new Duke demands the release of prisoners of his and the Baron's corpse be left for the desert. As the House of Harkonnen is set ablaze, I would have loved seeing this movie in IMAX. The final phase to confront the Harkonnen generals. Raban is killed and is sacrificed by Gurney. Not exactly the same as how it went in the book, but works a different way. Also, because they're played by Dave Bautista and Josh Brolin, that kind of means it's the second time I've seen a character played by Bautista killed by one played by Brolin. As the sun rises over Dune, Rotha challenges Paul for rule of the planet. Paul wins a knife duel, and Rotha dies an honorable death at his enemy's hand. Butler is once again on my short list for another Terrificon Award season. May the knife, chip, and shatter. The film closes on Paul becoming Lisan Al Gaib, and a new day dawns over Dune in multiple versions of the word. It's another example this year and decade of a director wanting to bring back the grand-scale epic films of years past, so he made one. Not sure who I want to adapt novels from Children of Dune onward, but I believe Dune Messiah is in good hands with Denny. The film was an even bigger hit than the first, grossing $282 million domestically and $711 million worldwide on a $190 million budget. It was also highly acclaimed by critics and audiences alike, with fans like me anticipating both the adaptation of Dune Messiah and the Awakening prequel event on Max. I genuinely believe that as years go by, we will all be talking about this movie the same way we do with The Godfather Part 2, The Empire Strikes Back, Two Towers, and The Dark Knight, among countless others, as one of the all-time greatest sequels. Thank you for letting me share this with you all, and take care. Lisan Al Gaib.